Okay, I've been laying some of this Allure vinyl flooring. It's the kind that sticks down, and it's really easy to lay, but when you get to the corners and the doorways and stuff like that, cutting it can be a little tricky. But I'm going to show you a few tricks I've learned on how to cut it. Now you can see I've laid this hallway floor, and I'm laying it over some existing vinyl flooring, and you can do that no problem. The gray is what I've laid here, and as you can see there's a little strip right here in the corner that I'm going to have to cut some pieces for, and I'm about to show you how to do that. Okay, now on some of the previous pieces that I've cut, I've had to cut the over lip off, and you can see on these pieces you have a lip here that goes over this lip here. Now, on some of them I've had to shave this off if they were next to the wall. So I have a lot of these pieces laying around. So in order to cut a piece on the other side of the wall, I've been using some of these sticky pieces. Okay, so I'm going to measure what I need for this space right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece that I had left over from another spot in the floor, and this piece is no good. So the way I'm going to measure it is I'm going to slide this piece over against the wall, and then I'm going to take and I'm going to mark it. I'm going to mark it right there where I need to cut it on this end, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other end. Okay, so I've got that end marked, and I've got that end marked. Okay, here's my full plank that I'm going to cut for that little piece by the wall, and I've got my plank that I measured with, so I'm going to lay it on top of this full plank, and I'm going to line these marks up on the edge on each end. And that was kind of tricky to do holding the camera too, but you can see what I've done here. There's the mark, and then I've got another one at the other end right there. Okay, now I'm going to take a leftover piece of some of this that I cut off these other pieces, and this is sticky. The black side of this is sticky, see? So what I'll do is I'll flip the sticky piece. One side of this is completely smooth. So I'm going to flip it over and kind of stick it down on this piece. Okay, now it's kind of hard to see, but you can see right there's an edge where I've stuck that down to the full plank. You can see it right there. Now what that does is it gives me a spot to score this piece with my blade. And it just kind of gives me a guide to make a straight cut right there. Now when you're cutting this stuff, you got to be real careful. I mean, obviously a super sharp blade on your knife, and so you have to be real careful not to run it over your fingers or slip off of it and cut yourself. Now once you have that scored, this stuff just peels right off. You don't have to worry about it leaving any glue or anything like that. It doesn't. And all you have to do now is snap this piece off. It's really easy. Okay, so now I have my piece here that I've cut off, and I'm just going to lay it right here on top of this one. And all you do, let's see if I can do this with one hand, is butt this up in the corner like that, and then just lay it down, and it lays right down in there. Just press it down a little bit here, and then you can go over it later with the floor roller that'll help seal all those joints.